Welcome, everybody. My name is Todd Keirstead, and you are watching TK Talks, stories of inspiration both on and off the golf course. I have a very near and dear friend of mine today, Paul Rosen. Paul, how you doing today, pal?
I'm doing great, and I'm so honored that you have me on your podcast.
No, man, it is my pleasure. Now, you and I have been friends for quite a few years now. Sports has always been involved with your life. You grew up being an ice hockey. You're from Canada, playing ice hockey at a very young age.
Started on the ice when I was like 4 years old. I have a brother who's 4 years older than me, and he got me on the outdoor rink with all of his friends. And I think that's why I progressed so fast, is because I was always playing with guys 4 or 5 years older than me.
Now, you played up until, well, you played all your life, but at the age of 15, you had a little bit of an accident. Not a little bit,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah, well, I was playing in the Wrigley's playdowns in the old Barrie Arena, Dunlop Arena, on Dunlop Street. It's now a fire hall. A long time ago, in May of 1975, I was coming around the net, caught a rut in the ice, and spiral fractured my leg, and that was pretty well it. That was Paul Rosen's career over. Back in 75, they couldn't do the surgery that they do now. If I had the same injury now, it would be a long recovery, but I would definitely have recovered.
Now, you were in and out of hospitals then for most of your, well, from 15 probably until 39 with this leg, with the problems that you were having with the spiral fracture.
Yeah, continuous operations to get things better, continuous bone breaks and ligament repairs until, at 37, I had a knee replacement to get the leg at least sturdy enough to live, to play with my kids. And unfortunately, fortunately now I look at it, I picked up an infection in the operating room, and for about 2.5 years, my life was in hospitals.
And then at 39, you were overseas coaching the Israel national team.
Yeah, I was in Belgrade, Yugoslavia, with the Israeli national team when my leg broke again, and the infection was too much for any doctor to handle. And basically, it was amputation of the leg or leave this planet. Wasn't ready to leave the planet yet.
That was quite a, they gave you the decision, either lose the leg or die. And did you have long to think about that decision, or how did that transpire?
I call it the 3 craziest days of my life. It was Thursday, June the 8th at 4 o'clock when they told me about their plans. And Friday morning, June the 9th, the next morning at 9 a.m., I was in the operating room. I had my leg amputated below the hip. And June the 10th, the Saturday, I was rocking and rolling.
So I still have a hard time understanding that. You lose your leg, you now are given a new lease on life. No more pain.
No. Basically on the 10th, when I woke up, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this. I was out in the garden in this beautiful hospital, Asuta in Tel Aviv. It was like 100 degrees. I was listening to Amanda Marshall on my old Sony Walkman, the big speakers and everything. It's cool now. It wasn't cool back in 99. And that's when I knew I had a second chance to live.
So how did the recovery go? Where did you go from there?
I came home. I came home basically a week later. Spent, I think, less than 10 days to be exact. And within about a month, I was told about this incredible place, which is near and dear to your heart and mine, Variety Village. Met a man, Archie Allison, met this young boy, Shane Smith, triple amputee, 12 years old, and found out about the wonders of disabled athletics. And that changed my life, Todd.
Now, you got in sledge hockey. Shane kind of pushed you into the sport of sledge hockey, a sport that you already knew how to play, but you then went a little bit further.
Yeah, the first time I came to the ice, I had some success as a goaltender. I was never a goaltender. I fooled around with ball hockey and that, but I was a catcher in baseball, and I loved, anybody who really knows me know I love baseball. It's probably my number one sport, even more than hockey, although nobody's supposed to know that, Todd. Let's keep that a secret. But I saw such a resemblance between goaltender in sled and a catcher in baseball that I wanted to excel. So I got myself a goalie coach, Jamie McGuire, and I busted my behind for 6 months and tried out for the national team at 40 years old and made it.
Let's back up just a tiny little bit. Let's talk about that first game, the incredible story. Let's talk about that first game that you played.
Yep.
And what happened from that game.
Well, I was playing on a terrible team, and we were playing one of the best club teams in Canada. They outshot us like 53-3, only beat us 1-0. And as I was walking out of the rink, I was approached by the captain of the national team, and he asked me, he hadn't seen me, how long have I been playing? And I basically told him 3 hours. It was the first time I was ever on the ice, and they were blown away. And they invited me out to national camp in May of 2000. I'll never forget it. I got there, and the guy back, we weren't a part of, it was Sledge Hockey of Canada. It wasn't Hockey Canada yet till 2004. And you had to pay $25 to get on the ice for the practice. They had to pay for their ice. And I remember it like it was yesterday, Todd. And for all of you out there that have been told no in your life, listen to this. The guy asked me my age. He asked my name. He asked my age. And I told him, I was 40, and they laughed. They laughed and saw we got a free $25 here, thinking, who's this idiot coming on to waste our time? We're going to get his $25 and he'll go away. That gave me the inspiration, and you've had this happen to you, Todd. That gave me the inspiration to go out and show them not what was going to happen, but what they did to light that fire inside of me. And I never looked back.
Now, you made the national team. Then you competed. How did the competition level go for you?
Well, pretty well right away. We started in World Championships. The team was not as competitive as they thought they were, unfortunately. We ended up in 4th place in Salt Lake City in my first Olympic Games. It was unbelievable. That opening ceremonies, Todd, I almost passed out because there's 55,000 people in the East Center in Salt Lake City, Utah, 6 months basically after one of the most insane things that ever happened in the world, 9/11. And people are screaming and chanting for us. And I just remembered that, oh my God, this is the greatest opportunity I will ever have. Now, I was the backup goalie, so I didn't play much, and we ended up in 4th. But what we did when those games ended, we got a new coach, Jeff Snyder, and Jeff taught us 15 hearts, 1 beat. I'll never forget this. And we went on to train for Torino in 2006, and the rest is history in what happened in Torino.
Now, Torino, you guys were going up against the world #1 team. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the Norwegians were massive. They were the best team in the world by a mile. We had no chance to win. And before we knew it, a week had gone by, and we're in the gold medal game against the big bad Norwegians. No chance to win. And I remember standing up in the dressing room, Todd, on my one leg before I got into my sled and telling the boys, get me 1 goal and we're winning a gold medal. And still to this day, I think, how did I do that? Like, I'm just one player. One player cannot be a team. But it sparked something in the young guys. We just had Billy Bridges on my show, and he just said there was something about that atmosphere that a 46-year-old could say that to the bulk of the guys on the team under 25. And before you knew it, the game was over, and we beat the Norwegians 3-0. I'm very proud of this. It was the first shutout in Canadian history. Shannon Zabados got one in 2010 and 2014 for the women's team, and Carey Price got one in 14 for the men's team in Sochi. But my shutout will remain the first shutout in Canadian history, and I'm pretty proud of that. That's
amazing. And you also have that goalie helmet in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Is that not correct?
Yeah, the mask from the 2006 in Torino, Italy gold medal game was taken from me, and it's in the Hockey Hall of Fame. And guys go there all the time and text me, Rosie, I'm standing beside your mask. It's something I'm really proud of, because my grandchildren can go to the Hall of Fame and see their grandfather, who's actually lost his leg and was supposed to die, and then was in that Hockey Hall of Fame. It shows me to tell everybody in this world that if you work hard enough, because I'm nothing special, but if you work hard enough and believe in a goal, you can achieve it.
Then you competed in Vancouver. You retired right after Vancouver. Then you were playing golf intermittently for probably fundraisers. You played a little bit as a kid, but fundraisers for Team Canada to support the sledge hockey team. Then you and I met, and then we got you into golf.
Yeah, you know what? It honestly changed my life because it opened me up to something that I always wanted to do, but because of my leg, I was so scared and terrified of making a fool of myself because I missed the ball, I'd hit it 25 yards. I didn't know the technique, and my body was so sore after retiring that when you gave me the techniques to actually hit the ball, not be a pro, but hit the ball, enjoy the game, and feel comfortable. And that's what you do to all the people out there that are disabled, that are scared, that they feel comfortable. And when you're comfortable, you can do anything.
And we've gone out and done quite a few events. We've done Beat the Olympian, where we put you on a par three, and 144 players playing in a charity tournament. Try and beat Rosie, the Olympian. You got the gold medal. You got the Team Canada hockey jersey there. It's quite an add-on for the event, but you get to meet people, and that's what golf's all about.
Yeah, you get an opportunity for 4 hours or 5 hours to hang with your buddies. And yeah, if you're a professional or you're doing this at the extreme level, it's a different story. But if you're doing this just to get out and have fun and be in a tournament and enjoy yourself and enjoy the outdoors, and especially nowadays with what's going on in the world, it's a release that everybody should do.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what TK Talks is all about, sharing inspirational stories both on and off the golf course. Paul Rosen, as always, my friend, it's an absolute pleasure talking to you. Pleasure seeing you, too.
Absolutely. And everybody, never give up because you have no clue what tomorrow's going to bring.
That sums it right up right there. Rosie, a pleasure, my friend. We'll talk to you soon. Be safe. Be well.
You too. Take care, Todd.